Hello friends, and welcome to today's edition of Fishing Friday. We are going to be fishing this evening in some small tanks or some small lakes in around 30 acres each. There's several of them, but they're all connected. So I guess when you add them all together, that probably makes a pretty decent sized lake. We're going to be using a couple of different baits. Obviously, you know, this time of year I've been having real good success on my swim jigs. So we'll be using a white Strike King swim jig on my Gelsma Rodco rod, and we'll also be using a white buzz bait. Okay, with this buzz bait, I'm going to try to get some top water action. I'm expecting to catch several nice bass. We've been doing pretty good here, so man, the grass has grown up, the stickers are high. I expect to see a few snakes, some alligators, a lot of mosquitoes, and I'm hoping not any chiggers. But we're gonna get out here, we're gonna do some casting. It's just gonna be both of these baits, basically cast them out and reel them in. With this buzz bait, we're gonna wanna keep it going as slow as we can, but still stay on top of the water. It's a pretty weedless bait, and with this swim jig, we'll vary it. We'll go, sometimes we'll reel it a little bit slower, sometimes we'll reel it a little bit faster, sometimes we'll even pump it a little bit until we find out what exactly it is that the fish are looking for. Anyway, let's get busy fishing and we'll see what bites. Another bass. There's your one. The old buzz bait. Okay, we slipped on down a little bit. Alligators down there. Maybe we can stay away from him, catch a few fish down here. I've still got my Nate's Baits custom swim jig, and I've still got my white buzz bait. All that I've added is my Dairy Queen drink. Friends, if you're fishing around Winnie, Texas, stop by the local Dairy Queen and tell my good friend Frank that I sent you by there. They got the best burgers, the best cheese sticks with marinara, great drinks, and Frank is a great guy with a great business there. So stop by Dairy Queen. Little plug for my friends at Dairy Queen. And I'm going to get the scale and I'll tell you exactly how big he is. Okay, this Grinnell here is 5 pounds, 4 ounces. We caught one the other day here. It was 9 pounds, which is trophy Grinnell. Okay, this last fish we caught, he was not a bass. He was a Grinnell or a shoe pick or a bowfin. He is a bad mama jama. He's got serious teeth, will cut you up. You can see he's bleeding, so he's already gonna die. But he destroys fishing lures. He'll bend this swim jig where it's not even usable. Do not put your finger in this fish's mouth. Now I'm gonna tell you something about him. I'd heard they're good to eat and I heard they're no good to eat. So we cooked one the other day. We fried it up like normal. We thought it was pretty good. So don't hesitate to eat a shoe pick, bowfin, or Grinnell. May not be the best, but it sure ain't bad. Try a little buzz bait. That's what we're trying to catch, big bass. See, we stood in the same place and we threw 3 different baits. So sometimes you just got to stick with it and try something else. I felt like the fish were here. They just weren't biting what I was throwing, so I threw something else. Okay, so I'm remaking this portion of the video because the wind was so strong in the last video. I'm not sure that you could hear it, but if you remember, we were fishing for bass and we ended up catching a couple of Grinnell. And I got to thinking, how can I apply this to my life? And the truth is, it kind of reminds me a lot of my life. Sometimes things don't work out the way that I want them to work out. Sometimes I plan for one thing, yet another thing happens. And I'm reminded of the scripture that says, as far as the heavens are above the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways. He says, my ways are not your ways, my ways are higher ways. And so I just want you to know that God's ways are higher than our ways. And sometimes we plan for one thing, but another thing happens. And when that happens, just trust that God knows what He's doing, that the scripture says that He knows the plans that He has for you, plans for your good, not for your harm, plans to give you a future. So God's working things together for good. If you go out fishing for bass and you catch Grinnell, well, here's the good news. Fry them up because they're not that bad to eat. When life gives you lemons, make lemonades. Remember, Jesus is ultimately in control. He said all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to Him. So you can trust Him. Whenever things don't go just like you want them to go, rest assured that God is still on the throne. All right, let's get back to catching a few more fish. Waiting on this one to come and to blow up on it. So we finally got him to get it. Doesn't look like about a 4-pounder. Let's see what we got. £3 8 ounces. So I was half a pound off. 3.5 pounder. Good fish. Nonetheless, this is a great way to end the day. Remember what we talked about. All hard work brings a profit. The Bible tells us that we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. So I want to encourage you in all things in your life. Never, never, never quit. God bless you. Have a great day.